poquito. It's like the Puerto Rican eggnog, and it's freaking great. Now, let's get to today's video. The Canon EOS M50. Is it good for stills in 2020? Let's see. Hi everyone, my name is Jesus Rivera Martinez, and I am a hobbyist photographer and videographer. If you're into photography, videography, equipment, tech, gadgets, please subscribe to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the Canon EOS M50, which to me is still the best budget vlogging camera on the market right now. But people ask, is it a good camera for stills, especially now in 2020? Well, to me the answer is yes. If that's what you wanted to know, well, there's my answer. It is a good camera for stills, but it all depends on the lenses. This camera, as we all know, has a 24 megapixels APS-C sensor, and to me 24 pixels is great for images. Do we have other cameras with way more megapixels in their sensor? Of course, we have full frame cameras where 30, 45, even 60. Now there's a rumor 75 or 80 megapixel camera coming out. So 24 is very good, but is the technology getting better? Of course it is. But for APS-C camera, this is more than enough. Now, to get the better image quality out of this camera, you need to pair it with great lenses. So I use two main lenses that help me with my stills. Number one is the lens that I'm recording with right now, which is a Sigma Art 60mm 1.4 lens. This lens is great for low light situations, and it's great for landscape photos, especially if you pair it with a nice ND filter. This lens is gonna give you the best quality, the best bokeh in high light situations. But in low lights, it's a beast, and you can have great stills in low lights with this lens. This lens, you can get it right now for the price of $449. It can be the lens by itself or the lens with the kit, which I would prefer to get the one with the kit. When I bought it, they didn't have the kit available. It was only the lens. But if I had the option to get it with the kit, of course I get it with the kit because you get some free gear. Now this is the other lens that I use for my stills, especially for my portrait pictures, and it's the Canon M50, the 50mm 1.8. It's a great lens, which it gives me a nice bokeh, and when I pair it up with this Viltrox adapter, it just opens a new world, because this lens goes from a 1.8 aperture to a 1.2 using this adapter. Plus, this lens goes from an APS-C measurement until a full frame measurement. So when you use this lens with the Canon adapter that you need to adapt it to the EFN mount, this 50mm will equal around an 80mm. When you add this adapter, this Viltrox adapter, this 50mm only goes to 56mm. Now you have a wider depth of field, plus you have a bigger image to work with. The thing that I like about this lens, it has auto or manual focus on it, and it's a great lens, especially for the price, which is $125 with the kit. So this is a great buy. And then this Viltrox adapter is around $156. Now that means that for $281, you can have a full frame view in an APS-C sensor, and this 50mm 1.8 will become a 1.2 aperture. So that's very important. Now I know a lot of you might be asking, well, Jesus, if you had a full frame camera, would you still recommend the Canon M50? And the answer is yes. And the reason for it is because not all of us have the budget for a full frame camera. I mean, I would love to have a full frame camera, but I cannot afford it. It is not in my budget. And for the price of a full frame camera such as the EOS R and the Sony a7 III, I got me two Canon M50s, I got 4 lenses, I have a Godox 60W light, I have a Running S, I have my Mobile Osmo gimbal. I have a lot of gear that I could trade it all in for a full frame camera, but that's not gonna help me at all. Will I like a full frame camera? Yes. And when I have it in my budget, I will buy one. And then I will use these cameras to complement that full frame camera. Now, this camera is not all bad. It has the Digic 8 processor, which is really fast and it's really good at taking images. And it also records in 1080p up to 60 frames per second, in 4K up to 24 frames per second, and in 720p up to 120 frames per second. Now, if you watch this video, now you know that I'm going from camera to camera. In this camera, I have the Canon M50 with the 50mm 1.8 with the Viltrox adapter, which brings the aperture up to 1.2. And in this camera, I have the Sigma Art lens 60mm 1.4. Now, as you can see, at least in videos, this is a great camera. But we are here to talk about stills. And if you can see in the pictures that I'm showing you right now, the details in these images are second to none. They are great for APS-C sensor, and you don't see no grain at all. Why? Because to take good photography, you need to learn the exposure triangle. That means if you have a good shutter speed that gives you good lighting, combined with a great aperture, you don't have to rack the ISO up all the way to the thousands. I kept in all these images the ISO from 100 to 250 ISO. And that is the key. You can take great images, especially in low light situation, but like everything, you're gonna need good light and you're gonna need good complements for your camera. Another thing that I love about this camera is the flip screen. I mean, right now I'm looking at myself in both cameras and I'm in frame. Why? Because of that flip screen. Now, I know some people might say, well, when I have the flip screen, I tend to look at the side like this. Yes, I used to do that, but then I realized that I can still talk to the camera, look at the lens, and see myself in the frame at the same time. So let's go back early in the day to the location where I was conducting a photo shoot for a friend of the family. Now, this was a paid photo shoot, so I cannot show you those pictures, but I did bring my son Jesus, and I took some pictures of him so you can see how these pictures look. Well, here I am in the location where I'm doing the photo shoot. It's a beautiful scene, as you can see behind me. It's a beautiful, beautiful scene. I have used this in the past a couple of times. I just used it for my last video because it's a friend's place that she has an amazing view, and she's very helpful and very supportive of me doing photos and conducting my business here. And since this photo shoot's for another friend, hey, Christmas time is here, so we're here doing pictures for them. So we're gonna show you in a couple of minutes how the pictures in the Canon M50 look, and you be the judge. As you can see, the video quality is great, but we wanna see how the picture quality is. So I took some pictures of my son Jesus, and hopefully you guys like them, and I will share them with you, okay? So let's get to work. Now these pictures were taken right around sunset, and you can see the colors in this picture. I mean, Canon's color science are great, and they match the color scheme better than any other system. Do I know about the system? Well, I had Nikons before, and I have taken pictures with Sonys. I had never worked with Fujis or any other cameras, but the color science that I get out of these Canons are second to none. If you can see, the background is creamy. There's no grain in the pictures. You can always add grain if you want to, but in these images, there are no grains. So you be the judge and you tell me what you think. Please let me know what you think of the pictures and of this camera, the Canon M50. If you have used it, if you haven't used it, are you interested in buying it? Are you not interested? Now, let me tell you, this camera has good deals going on right now, where I have seen it for as low as $504. I will leave links in the bottom for all the items that I have included, plus all of my gear. Now, do I recommend this camera for 2020? Like I said earlier, of course I do. This is a great camera, and you cannot go to sleep on it, because this might be the best camera your money can buy. Now, this is my review of the Canon M50. My name is Jesus Rivera Martinez, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel leave your comments, like the video, and share it with your friends. Now, it will be until next time when I come with more tech review. So please have a happy new year. 2020, here we go.